How are you?
Yeah, right.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الثرى وإن تجهر بالقول فإنه يعلم السر وأخفى الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى وهل أتاك حديث موسى إذ رأى نارا فقال لأهله كثوا إني آنست نارا لعلي آتيكم منها بقبس أو أجد على النار هدى فلما أتاها نودي يا موسى إني أنا ربك فاخلع عليك إنك بالوادي المقدس طوى وأنا اخترتك فاستمع لما يوحى إنني أنا الله لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري إن الساعة آتية أكاد أخفيها لتجزى كل نفس بما تسعى ولا يصدنك عنها من لا يؤمن بها واتبع هواه فتردى.
Taha. We have not sent down this Quran to put you to trouble, but as a reminder for those who fear Allah. This is revealed from Him who has created the earth and the lofty heavens. The compassionate Allah who established Himself on the throne in a manner that suits His majesty. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and in the earth, and all that lies between them, and all that is beneath the soil. The one who to whom you need not to speak aloud, for He knows what is said in secret and what is yet more hidden. He is Allah. There is no deity worthy of worship except Him. To Him belongs the most beautiful names. Have you heard the story of Moses? When he saw a fire, he said to his family, "Wait, I saw a fire. I may be able to bring some fire, or find someone beside that fire to guide us towards the right direction." When he reached there, he was called, "O Musa, in fact I am your Lord. Take off your shoes, you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa. I have chosen you, so listen to what I am about to reveal. It is me, Allah. There is none worthy of worship except me. So worship me and establish prayers for my remembrance. The final hour is sure to come. I choose to keep it hidden, so that every soul may be rewarded according to its efforts."
so excited to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces today. Thank you for taking the time out and coming. I know it's cold and it's easier to bundle up and stay next to the fireplace and keep warm in the winter. So thank you very much for coming out. My name is Jeanne Jundi, and I am the Outreach Coordinator of the Islamic Center of Maine. A little bit about the outreach of the Islamic Center of Maine. We have worked with many organizations, private organizations, schools, public schools, universities, colleges, hospitals. We have served at the homeless shelter, clinics, interfaith. We've helped students in their research and different programs. And along the way, we've made a lot of great friendships. So I thank you all for that. So I'm so happy to see you here, and I wanted to introduce our moderator for tonight. Our moderator is Reverend Mark Worth, and he's a minister at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Castine, where he served full-time since 2006. From 1991 to 2006, he served both the UU Church of Castine and the UU Church of Ellsworth. He studied for the ministry at Meadville Lombard Theological School in Chicago and at the University of Chicago Divinity School, and was ordained in 1991. In the 1980s, he taught high school history in Lenox, Massachusetts, and in the 1970s, he owned and operated a natural food store also in Lenox. He is a native of Michigan, go blue, so am I, where his father and uncle were both Methodist ministers. So welcome, Reverend Mark, and thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
So it's an honor to be here tonight and to be asked to be here. And I have been asked to introduce the panelists. Dr. Muhammad Mir is a member of the Muslim community in the Orono area and is a member of the Islamic Center of Maine Outreach. He has lived in Maine for the last 3 years and would like to share some thoughts about Quran. He has been trying to study, this is what was sent to me, so it says he has been trying to study Quran for some time with limited success. His views represent his own and not those of the Islamic Center of Maine Orono, especially if you don't like them. I suspect he is being modest. Dr. Muhammad Taba is a GI pediatrician at Eastern Maine Medical Center and a member of the Islamic Center of Maine Outreach. He is also the president of the Islamic Center of Maine. And Mrs. Jeanne Jundi is the outreach coordinator of the Islamic Center of Maine, and as she noted, we are both Michiganders. And I even think I hear a little bit of a northern Michigan accent there.
Absolutely.
Yes. You know, we have so many Swedes up there, we learned to tongue kind of a sing-song in their voice, eh? So I hear that northern Michigan sound in your voice. So it is an honor to be here. Part of my job will be to keep us on time tonight, and so what happens next? It is Dr. Muhammad Mir will be speaking.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be to you all. I'm not an authority in Quran. I've never met an authority in Quran in my life. The Quran itself says that وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَعْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهُ, which means for some of the verses, nobody knows the true meaning except God. So what is the Quran? You hear a lot about it, and it's just inescapable. You know, it keeps coming up in the news and views, and so we thought we'll try to answer that for you. So this is one of the fundamental questions. In fact, this is the most fundamental question of one's life. If you have not asked yourself this question, does God exist? You're either a saint or a non-believer. if you were never a skeptic, you cannot be a believer. And I've asked this question to myself. I'm sure all of you have, seeing a beautiful sunset or sipping your morning coffee or holding a loved one's hand who's dying. We have come across this question, is there a God or is this just all a fairy tale? And when you ask this question to the Quran says a lot of things, and some of this are that you look around the universe you're living in. And there are three attributes of this universe that tell you that there is a higher being who's managing this. And one of them is complexity. The second is order. And the third is purpose. Let me shed a little bit of light on these. If I tell you that my son who's in first grade made this picture, how many of you will raise your hands? First grader picture. Okay. How about this one? My son in first grade made this? No takers. Without his artistic abilities. No, because this is much more complex. Complexity applies wisdom. There's too much wisdom in this picture for a first grader. That's why the 8th grade math is higher level than first grade math. We're assuming that children have become wiser as they've gotten to 8th grade. The other is order. How many of you think this could be a random work of wind? Throwing leaves around, wind does all the time. How about this? So the universe is complex, with the stars and galaxies and water cycle and nitrogen cycle and birds chirping and rivers flowing and sun shining. And it is in order. If the sun arose today on February 4th, 2012 at 7:02 a.m., on February 4th, 2013, it will rise at 7:02 a.m. There is perfect order in the universe. It's too obvious to ignore. And then there is purpose. And this is a motherboard of a computer, and you see countless little pieces and microcircuits and chips. And can you put your finger on one little piece on this board that is useless? That the creator just put there. He was thinking, maybe I should put a couple of screws here. They'll look nice. Everything, in fact, today's world with Apple and iPad, the competition is for compactness. To put maximum